Alright then guys, so we are back with the XHTML series. So of course we're on part 2 now, and what we're going to do is we're going to do parts of the body. So what I like to do really is, before I do this, I will style the body a little bit. So what you could do in here is, say, I don't know, you could do your font family. We have seen that before, but of course that needs to be in lowercase, or it should be in lowercase, just for routine. So font family, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have Verdana. Now, actually, while I remember, Verdana, the font name is really the only place where I ever put any uppercase in the CSS. You may put it somewhere else, but I can't think of somewhere off the top of my head. So we're gonna do font size. And that's going to be 30px. Now px stands for pixels, so that's going to be the same size as 13 in Word document. I would expect. I can't say I'm so sure about that. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is we're going to do div id equals container. Because that's going to contain everything, we're going to have the closing tag for that rather far down. And what we'll do next is div id equals header. We'll close that there, and div id equals navigation, and we'll close that there. So what you can see here is you've got basically what the top of your website would be. You've got your header and your navigation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have another container for the rest of the sections. So like you might have the, I don't know, you could have like a navigation on the left hand side, so something like div id equals, I don't know, content. So I'll just call it content to contain the entire thing. Move that all the way down and close the tag. We'll go over here as well. Div id equals left contents. Spell it right. And then div id equals middle content. I'm probably not going to have it like this. I'll probably just have like one big content thing. Maybe. I don't know. We still need a footer, to be honest. So div id equals footer. And we'll move that across. So now you can see, of course, that I've kept to my formatting as I do before. Of course, the container contains everything. The header then contains the navigation. The navigation it's just on its own. The div content has the div left content and the div middle content on the inside, and then the footer is after the content, which would make sense really in a website. So, and that's just how it works here. Pretty much, literally the same. Nothing different. So there's a closing div for container and then the body. So that's how it works. Because what we need to do now is we need to keep these names in mind, because they are going to be individually styled in the CSS. So we'll save that. Control S as I do. Go back there. So it's going to be a sharp sign, some people call it, and it's not content, it's container. So what things might you want to involve in this? One thing you would do would be font family inherit. So that's going to inherit the font family from the body. So basically what it does is it inherits the font by a more by a bigger element, if you like. I think it's called an element. I think these are called elements. I think. But that's basically what it's about. It inherits it from further up. So we'll do font size, and we'll do that inherit as well. It just saves us setting different values or the same value when we could just change the one value. What we're going to do now as well is the width and the height, and this, I like to measure them in pixels, but there is also, so px is like that, as you've seen above, and then there's em as well, which is, it's like comparing centimeters to inches, and the same applies when it comes to size, more or less. So width, I like to set it around about the 1000, I think the 1000 mark. I think it's 900 actually. I like to do it. Height, let's set that about 1200, so 1200. What else are we gonna do? The margin left auto, margin right auto. So what this does is it centers the div. And you'll find that when if I were to put it, let's put it a bit shorter. And what we'll do as well is we'll do background color. I'm not going to have this in because I never use this, and no one should ever use this. Background color black, and we'll do border 1 pixels thickness. We'll have the border solid, so there's no patterny sort of stuff, and it'll be red. Or I could just do FF and 4 zeros. Same as still red, I think. Actually, no, I think, yeah, that is red. So open up our browser. So now you can see the red border with the black background, and it is of course in the center. What I also like to do is there's this very small white gap there, so I quite like to do go here, margin top, and we use a negative number, so we do about -5 pixels. It should be about right. No, a bit more. I don't know why it does this, but it does. I would expect it to be near the top, really. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove the border because that adds width and height. So with that border on, we're 1202 and 502 pixels wide, because of that 1 pixel border, with the border being on the left and the right hand side. So 1 times 2 is 2. That took some thinking, but yeah, it adds to the width, and the margin doesn't, because the margin is outside of the container. What we're also going to do is we're going to do padding. Now, padding is very similar to margin, whereas it's on the inside of the div. And I'll explain now how it works. So we've got it in the container. It's going to look a bit wider, yeah, as I thought. We're going to change colour to a grey. I'm not sure if that's the right spelling. Yeah, it's fine. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the container again, and going to go. This is the container. So you can see if I hadn't have put that padding on, this text would be right up in that corner, and that's basically what padding is. So this is pretty much your what you do for the for your layout, basically. I've showed you a little bit of how to code them, how to code it. I will code the rest of it. I'll probably just speed it up a little bit, maybe, and I won't bother having any audio or anything like that. I'll just speed it up a little bit. So as you may be able to see, I'm doing something a little bit different here. Rather than having the width like almost anything like the 850 we've got for the header, I've actually put some at 550. And the clever people of you may be able to see that I've only put a left margin in here, and that is because I want only 10 pixels from the left hand side. I don't really care about how far away it is from the other side. So we will just have a look at the result, but I will change the colour here. Now it's because of the height that I have, so we'll change that. Now the reason why it's so far here is because of the padding that we have. What I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to increase the width, sorry, the height of there, and we'll increase it there a little bit as well. There we go, that looks a bit, yeah, it looks marginally better. So I personally think I would try and get those pretty bang on. I'm going to get rid of that actually, and I'm going to get rid of that. So there we go. Onwards. Okay then, now there's probably one last feature of CSS that I'm going to show you, and that is the float. So float, what we're going to do is left. Now you normally do this, well you only do this, if you've got two elements that are going to be beside each other. So we're going to put that as left, and that is now at the left. And we're going to put this a little bit shorter. Doesn't matter really. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paste that here. We're not going to have the float on there. We're going to change this to blue. I don't think I got blue yet. So that is there, and for some reason I think float right. Yeah, let's put it in. See what happens. Right, that's going all the way to the right. So actually we're not going to bother with that. What we're going to put here as well, actually, is we're going to put a margin. Margin, top. We're going to put about 20 on it, just so that text fits in perfectly good. I think this will make it work. It doesn't. I suppose this minor error doesn't really matter too much because we're not actually going to type inside of the green area, the content. so it doesn't really matter that much at all. I've been trying now for a while to fix it, but I kind of couldn't because, well, I don't do this. I don't write in the content because it's just to contain the two contents that are in the middle. So it doesn't matter. What we'll do is we'll remove the text and it should display fine. I believe some of the widths are a bit different. Alright then, so that displays fine pretty much. As you can see, it's pretty much in line at the bottom. Well, it will be in line at the bottom. Don't need such a big height on it, so make about 850. And yeah, that's pretty damn close. So of course we do have quite a big container, so I would recommend putting that down a little bit. We'll say about 150. Probably about another 50. No, I take that back. Need a bit more than that. We'll call it 25. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll do the footer now. Alright then, so that is pretty much the layout. You can see the container is there, the header is there, the navigation is there. We've got the left content there, the middle content there, and of course the green background is the normal content. And then of course we have the footer at the bottom, so all's looking so good, so far so good. You may not want this sort of layout, but this is one I may not actually use. I may have I may split this thing up where I have my contact details sort of in this bit and then have another separate section here. I may well do that, and I'll probably make that modification in the next video. But for now, this has been Jacob from Geeks Planet, and don't forget to like, subscribe, add your favourites, share it on Facebook. We do also have a Facebook, and you will find that in a few seconds. So after all that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So goodbye for now.